Hello, my flute players. Let's get started on Farm Out. Now, Farm Out can be a bit of a challenge because in Farm Out we have a couple of new notes that we need to go over. In particular, I'm going to show you right now this note right here, which is the note G. Here's the fingering for G. We use our thumb, first finger, second finger, and third finger on our left hand. And then on our right hand, we only use our pinky. It sounds like this. It's a high note. Alright, so make sure that you can play the note G before we go on. If you need to pause the video to do that, go ahead. Alright, let's get started. So this is the song Farm Out. I'm going to play it for you once so you can hear it. This is basically just Old MacDonald Had a Farm, so just take a listen. Alright, I'm trying my best to keep the fingers in the frame, but it's a little bit tricky to do that while I'm playing, so sorry if I cut off my pinky in the frame. Alright, so let's start by doing what's most important when we play the flute, which is to finger all of our notes. First, we have here, I want you to take a minute, and I want you to look right here in the beginning, and I want you to figure out what all of these notes are. What are the letter names for each note? Go ahead and pause the video. Alright, here we go. This first note here is E flat. So make sure you know the fingering for E flat. Thumb, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and pinky. And here we have B flat. We should know that one. It's the reds and the blues. Thumb, first finger on the right hand, pinky. And then we get to C, which is basically just the first finger on the left hand and the last finger on the right hand. And then back to B flat. So let's try to play that now. Let's finger this once. So what we're going to do is instead of playing, we're going to finger this first section to make sure that we have it down. Just finger it. E, 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 B, C, C, B. Make sure you are very comfortable with the fingering. If you need to do that a couple of times, go ahead and do that as many times as you need. Alright, assuming that you now have the fingering down, let's try to play it. Here we go. Alright, so if you were able to play that, great job, then you can go on. If you couldn't, I would go back and practice that a couple of times. Let's move along. If you could play this section right here, that means that you can also play this section down here, because it is actually the exact same notes. Let's now try to play these first 4 measures and these 4 measures. Get ready. Now we're going to wait until measure 9. Make sure that you can do that before you go on. Go back if you need to. Alright, now that we've learned that, let's go to our next section, which is the E-I-E-I-O section. Right here, we need to make sure that we know our new note G, which we practiced before we even began. So you're able to play that, right? So here we have, take a minute, I want you to take a minute to look at the notes here. See if you can figure them out. If you need to, go ahead and look at your fingering chart in the back of your book to figure out what every one of these notes are. You just need to know the letter name for now. Alright, so you now know all the notes. So let's go through these. We have here our new note G, then we have F, one below it, and then we have E flat. And at the very end of it, we have a B flat. Now the fingering for all this can be a little tricky, but really all it is G, which we know is thumb 1, 2, 3, pinky. Then we go to F, and when we play F, all we do is just add one finger on our right hand. So it's literally just, here's G, look at my camera, G, and then F. That's it, you just add one finger. And then we go down to E flat right here, where we need to make sure that, well, E flat is the same as D, right? But we add the pinky. And then we go to B flat. Now this one right here can be a little tricky later on, but let's see what we can do. So now that you have gone through the notes, let's finger it. Make sure you can finger the song. Let's try it right now. Finger it together. G, G, F, F, E, B. And now let's try to play it. So if you couldn't, actually hang on. Make sure you can finger it. If you can't finger it, go back and try it again. Now let's try to play it. Here we go. Alright, if you could do that, then you can basically play the whole song. So I would suggest let's just practice each section by itself before we go on any further. You can pause the video to do that. Alright, let's put the whole thing together. Just try to play your best to play along with me. I hope that went well for you. If you need to go ahead and practice it a couple times, please make sure you practice it until you can play it well. You might need to go back and try a couple things. You might need to go back and finger. You might need to go back and check the notes. You need to do what you need to do. But make sure that when it comes down to it, it sounds the way that you just heard it from me. Alright. If you need any help, please make sure you send me a message, and I will see you all next time. Oh my God.